What's going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. Make sure you like the video. Yes, I'm looking at you right now. Hit that like button. Let's get 1,000 likes, man. You lot have been doing well on the likes lately. And subscribe to the channel, man. We're less than, what, 200 away from 100,000 subscribers? So please, guys, help the cause. And listen, transfer news, football news, Arsenal, you, man, must be excited. You must be relieved, to be honest with you, because this has been a long, long saga. But we got the David Ornstein bomber. We got it. And that was Arsenal have struck an agreement in principle with Real Sociedad to sign Mikel Merino for 33.5 million euros, which is what, about 28 million and 5 million in add-ons. Personal terms done for 28-year-old to join Arsenal from Sociedad on a 4-year contract with an option of a 5th year if he does so, man. Listen, it's been a long, long saga, but you know what? I think this is a good signing. This is a kind of signing that I think for me, it's not like a marquee signing, if you kind of call it. It's not like a flashy signing, but you know what it is? It's a signing that will, for me, raise the levels of Arsenal in terms of, A, Partey isn't going to always be available, and B, you haven't replaced Xhaka. He's a bit different to Xhaka in that I think he's a bit more combative to Xhaka. I think Xhaka, to be fair, probably had a better passing range. But you know what? You do need this sort of midfielder. Can play in that 8 role. You know what I mean? And I think for me, when you look at his stats here, I'm actually quite gobsmacked. He was the highest player to win the most duels in the top 7 leagues with 326 duels. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. The key elements from his game: aerial duels, key passes, and tackling. As you know right now, Arsenal have Declan Rice, who can play in the 6, can play in the 8 role. You have Thomas Partey, who can play in that 6 role. To be fair to you, can play in the 8 role, but predominantly in that double pivot in that 6 role. And then you have Odegaard, who predominantly plays in that 10/8 role, but predominantly further forward. Everyone else, let's be honest with you, Jorginho, I don't think for me can be reliable enough to be now in your 3rd title kind of almost competition, you know, because this is your 3rd year now, competing for the title now. You now need to upgrade. Arsenal fans, you had to upgrade, and this is one of the key positions. When you look at Arteta, yeah, he's very, very meticulous in what he wants. You can see there's attention to detail. He wants the right sort of signings. He talked about the aura of Calafiori and the fact that he was watching him all summer. Listen, if it's weird, it's weird, but he's very, very, he could have went for Zubimendi and probably the better player, if I'm being honest with you, when you actually deep it. But what did he say? No, I want a left-sided midfielder. I want someone who can play alongside Declan Rice. If Declan Rice is on one side, you got Mikel Merino. If he's going to play them key passes into Saka, into whoever, you need someone that can make them intricacies. And that is someone that I think, for me, Arsenal fans who I've spoken to have been a bit excited about this deal, because they now see a player who fits the profile. They now see a player who actually fits the bill. And when you look at Man City making a move for Ilkay Gundogan, this, for me, needed to happen, man. And it's been a long, long saga for Arsenal getting this over the line. I don't know what happened. Maybe the fact that Zubimendi was meant to go to Liverpool and they didn't want to lose 2 players. Was it down to, you know, the kind of payment structure? We don't know. But right now, Arsenal have got Mikel Merino. And you know what, to be fair to you, when I literally look at the profile of him, when he played in Spain, I always thought to myself, you know what? Like, he's a typical Arsenal player, tiny on the ball, but also now can win duels. And in this Premier League, the main element, the main thing you have to do as a midfielder is win your duels. Like, I cannot express it enough. You have to win your duels. It's going to be dogged. It's going to be dogged in there. And for a Spanish midfielder, you don't associate that with. Yeah, you got the likes of Busquets, who is a ball winner and they can win the ball and it's unbelievable. But you don't associate that with Arsenal. You don't really, especially with Spanish players, should I say. So that's why it's key for Arsenal that they bring him in. And like I said to you, now they got options. Shout out to NSG. They got options now. They can play Thomas Partey. And this is, for me, the biggest one. They can now afford to rest Thomas Partey. Because so many times they've got Thomas Partey and, oh, but he's our best midfielder. Oh, but this excuse here and that excuse there and this and that. Like, no, there is no excuses now for Arsenal. It is now a case of having that competition. Jorginho, Mikel Merino, Partey, Odegaard, Declan Rice. That is more than enough. And then you've got Ethan Nwaneri, if you want to use him as well, in that middle as well. They have got more than enough options. Like, generally, more than enough options to kind of do what they need to do. And like I said to you, for me, this is sort of signing that Arsenal. Sometimes you look at these kind of signings, you're like, you know what, man, it's not exciting, man. I wanted that player there. I wanted that player there. But you got to remember, man, like, profiles are what matters the most. You know what I mean? We're in a world full of big stars. Systems are key. And you're looking at Guardiola right now, and you're looking at, he's able to get the best of Kovacic. He's able to get the best out of C players. And I'm like, how does he get away with that? Because he has a system in plan. And this sort of player here now just almost fits in like a glove. And it's one of them where you kind of almost like say to yourself, right, cool. You're coming in. I know what to expect from you. I know what you're good at. Now deliver. It's like, it should be a routine kind of operation, because the way Arsenal play right now, and the way that everything, and this is one of the reasons why it has been frustrating for Arsenal to buy players this summer, because it's been so kind of almost like they don't really need a lot. They really needed maybe a striker. They needed a left back, definitely, a left-sided centre back if they needed to cover. And then they needed to go and get a midfielder in there. So it was key areas where they needed people. So that's why it became difficult to kind of get the names involved and obviously negotiate well, because you'd rather negotiate a long time and get the man, then quickly negotiate, then you go to a wrong sign and then it doesn't work out, and etc. etc. So I can't lie to you, man. I've got really no issues, and apparently the main thing is that the manager has been the main driving source for Mikel Merino to come involved. That's what Fabrizio has said in his notes. He says, Mikel Arteta crucial for Merino's move. Positive talks to the player. Merino had at least 2 more proposals, but he has been clear. He only wants Arsenal. I think that's a new norm now, guys, where I believe, you know, the new norm is going to be that, no, I'm only want Arsenal. Like, you know, there's certain, and they have to make it clear. Have to make it clear to Fabrizio Romano. Have to make it clear to journalists. When you mention this story, we want to know it's only, like I said to you, this club that we want. And that's all it is. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Let me know, Arsenal fans, what you guys are saying. Mikel Merino is going to be an Arsenal player. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.